Yeah. Hey, welcome to the Last Lap Live. I'm Brian Smith with my co-host on the other end, Shelly Liskai. And in the middle we got Maria Gerber and our current 410 point leader, Brian Legg at Fremont Speedway. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. First time on.
Welcome.
Glad to be here.
That's good. I don't even know what I was going to say. I got all my notes here, so I'm ready to go. I got nothing. So go ahead, Shelly. You go
well,
from there.
I wanted to bring Maria on because she's done such a wonderful job with us, and I know you guys probably only see her on the front stretch, right? Brian?
It is
He
nice
did.
to see her.
Brian
It
has-
is
Yeah.
nice to see her. You know what I mean?
So,
Like,
yeah.
not everybody gets to.
No, but she does
fortunate
good.
enough I
She
did.
gets around, and did you get a picture and an envelope from
Yes,
her?
I did. It was
It's been her trademark all
a little
year.
letter that I have hanging on the wall of my trailer right now. So it's cool. I
I thought that
appreciate
was
it. It
cool.
was
She took
special.
that upon herself, and every week she comes in and she'll say his. She's gotten better now. You know, Maria was not a race fan prior to. She got a free ticket last year. Came for her first time last year, and decided she loved it.
Been hooked ever since, huh?
Yep. And she would come in early in the season. She'd lay all these cards out. She'd go, okay, is he here? Is this one here? Who is this one? But now she can do that on her own for the most part. Yep.
So you're going to push the next trophy queen to do that too?
I hope she does. You know, it's kind of nice. I want to show the drivers that I really appreciate them because sometimes they're overlooked. But my goal is to try to personally get to know the drivers, and that's what I've really been trying to do. So I'm trying to get to know them and their families. So.
And I just heard you sat in both of these guys' race cars. One is a feature winner and one is not. So you didn't rub off
Pull the
the.
knife out.
You did not.
Well, she sat in yours the week before and you won the feature, and then had you not stuffed me going into 3, the week she sat in mine, I'd have been the feature winner.
See what you
But-
started.
Yeah.
That's what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, if you gotta
Well,
stuff somebody, you gotta
and you've
stuff
got
them. You know.
for you
I didn't mean to.
two different spectrums of the racing styles here.
Yeah.
On the gas, not that you're not on the gas. On the gas, wide open.
On the gas.
Edge of crazy all the time.
I got news for you. I'm on the gas
I know
wide
you're-
open more than he is because I have to go as fast as I'm going.
I know you're just.
That's
more
all that little
concerned.
pony's got.
I did see a fair picture. Do you see Brian got some new ponies?
I did not.
Ponies in there?
Those not my ponies. My daughters are. We were there all week, and I'm dead tired.
Actual
which is-
ponies.
Yeah, actual ponies. Yeah. But I learned that a
So
pony
don't
is
let
just
him
a short
complain.
horse.
He needs
Is that
more
2+
ponies.
horsepower?
Something.
No. I have nothing to do with that.
2+
I helped
horsepower?
carry a water bucket once, and I fed a goat once, but I'm not involved in all that. That's definitely my daughters, but that was a
I
long
seen
week.
some
To
cute
each
little
their own.
pictures of you at the fair and one of those put your face in deals.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
had 4 or 5 of those. I
You
had
gotta, yeah, you gotta get in.
You got to do that. Yeah, you got kids, you got to do that.
I seen him come wandering through every day.
Man, we were there for a long time.
It was
Every
a long
day.
week, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I worked all week except for one day. I took off Tuesday, and we were there all day. And we don't even go to the fair. And then this year we were wide open. We were there all day.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm allergic to horses and goats and all
geez.
that, so my eyes
That
are
doesn't
watering
really
all day.
help out.
No, I can breathe. We pull in the parking lot. I get out of the car. It's like, oh, jeez,
It's
all
over
day.
with.
Yeah,
Yeah, last Tuesday he comes in, he goes, if I smell like a goat.
yeah,
I
I
must
did
do
too.
it.
It was there was man, me walking around
It's
trying not to
bad,
step
isn't
on
it? Oh, yeah,
stuff
it's-
everywhere.
You know, I was going to take a picture. You always hear those. There's a lot of negativity going on out there right now, and you get those Fremont Speedway tweets. Fremont Speedway's a crap hole or whatever. It literally was this week. All the way down the front stretch. There was horses tied up. There was just yuck everywhere. It was bad.
I've had my fair share of horses in my lifetime. It was a short-lived. They eat money and
Uh-huh.
work,
Yes.
and
I heard that from a
work.
farmer last week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you want to feed them money, well, you got plenty of work coming. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
for
'Cause
sure.
it's a never-ending battle with expensive lawn ornament, I call them. I mean,
Yeah.
Somebody must be feeding them things a lot of money. There's a gallon of milk went for $3,600.
Is that crazy?
A quart of goat milk went for $500.
for goat
Somebody's
milk.
getting a government subsidy or something there.
It's
I don't know
got-
where that
yeah.
money's coming
It's
from.
sponsor money though, right? It's kind of like, isn't that?
I don't know. That's
I-
just
I-
Sure, if
seems
they're
like a
gonna
lot.
feed the.
Yeah, well, my daughter did. She had cattle, and most of that's just people buy that stuff just for sponsorship. I don't think they go home and literally drink that goat milk, do they? I'm sounding like I know, but I really don't know.
To each his. I mean, there's weird people out there that they.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the concept they buy that $3,500 goat milk for a sponsorship type thing.
Oh, to just produce money, extra money towards the cause as far as
Or they write it
purchasing
off
the milk.
at, like
Is a gallon of
Rutt's
milk actually
always,
worth $3,600?
well, Rutt's always
I
buys
think so.
the
You put methanol in
champion
it.
chicken. And you always see it put on a picture out the Rutt's with their champion chicken. And if they pay $3,500 for that chicken, I mean, they've got their fair share of chickens.
Those,
Right?
I mean, those
It's a
horse
s-
people, I think, are crazier than racing people because,
I know, did you see some of them
I
trailers?
mean,
Did you,
a
Brian?
$100,000 horse, you know
Did
what I
you see
mean?
some of them
How much
trailers full of
faster
them?
is
Holy
it
moly.
than, you know?
I
Can he
don't
run that much faster?
I seen
Uh,
several
obviously, if he's
Featherlight
worth
horse
$100,000
trailers.
a
know. You better run faster.
Yeah. I've seen several Featherlight trailers come across the horse trailers.
Oh, they have air conditioning
Yeah.
and, I mean, the
The
horses.
rodeo
get-
night was pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
As far as watching the trailers, that one guy must be the big deal. Sean Miner, 21-time world champion or
See, you
something.
paid attention, I
Okay.
didn't.
Well, there's all the trailers parked in the middle. We went to the rodeo because some people know Lynette Lawless, Fred Wolf's
Yeah,
daughter.
Lynette.
She
yeah.
ran her barrel racing horse, so we went to the rodeo to see that. But there's all them big trailers parked in the middle, and then there's one that says Sean Miner, real giant down the
Oh,
side.
I did see that.
He must be the big time rodeo guy.
21-time rodeo champion, I
Yeah.
think it said, or something.
Yeah, world champion.
World
Yeah,
champion.
not rodeo champion,
Yeah.
world champion. So he must have been a big deal. I couldn't hear anything the announcer was saying, so I don't know which guy he was or what he did, but
Was that bad?
it was bad.
I
Yeah,
tried to
before
pick,
I
I got your text and I made a suggestion, but
yeah.
Do you get to wear a 5-point harness when you ride one of those things?
I don't know. I watched some guys ride the bulls too. I went right down next to the deal, and
Does that just seem like a good idea?
I kind of wanted
I
to do
mean,
it until I went down there.
Did you see how they make them jump?
Yeah.
Did you see him coming out of the gate? What really happens? You know, the slow motion. What you know?
Right.
Why that guy is so mad? Now, why
I
would
know
you
why
do
he's
that?
mad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And why would you
he's upset.
try to ride on his back? It just doesn't seem like
It
a good
makes no
idea to
good
me.
sense.
That's the best story from the rodeo. They had saddle broncs where they sit there and they hold the one rope. Well, the Sean Miner guy got on top of that. I did hear that. And, you know, the guy goes on and on how he's about this world champion. They got this great horse, and this is a big deal to see this. They open the gate, and the horse goes,
He just didn't want
He
to
just stayed there. So they waited. They couldn't get him out, so they closed the gate. They waited. He got in there. You know, he did his whole deal again. They made a big deal about it, and they opened the gate. Horse said, So they moved him down a couple chutes, and now you got this, you know, big name guy that comes in, and you know, you want everybody to go, oh, you know, and everybody started laughing. And it's like, oh no, this is terrible. Finally, they go down a couple chutes. They wind him up again. They open the gate, and the horse just stands there for the third time. And finally, they got him kicked out of the gate. And then I don't know if this guy was just really good or the horse was just really lame, but he just went, you know, and he rode it, and it was no big deal.
Yeah.
It was kind of sad that they were laughing at their big time guy, but it was still relatively entertaining.
Yeah. I was in the infield. I didn't get to see. I did see a couple of them horses. Whatever they do in
The
there.
Bronco.
Yeah.
ride. I'm not real keen on it. I mean, every once in a while I'll flip the TV on and I'm like, man, that's just not a good idea. You know what I mean? Like,
They probably say that about you guys. Though.
you know, it looks easy from the grandstands. You know what I mean? Look at that car, just goes around there in a circle ever so effortlessly, and it just.
And you know what? I'm glad you said that. I think most people think that.
Oh, it
I
looks
do.
real easy.
I always did.
I personally want to finish a 2-seater that I've had in my mind for 2 years now, just to go scare the living daylights out of everybody.
I
That
am a
wants to
perfect
see-
bench seat racer. I've done the 2-seater, and I actually took one out on my own. It was a 305, and I don't give racing advice anymore.
No,
No.
it's
There's
not
a lot of stuff. I know you guys will tell me, no, there's really not that much. You're in that little spot,
with a little window to look out.
and you see this much, and there's a lot of stuff going on there, and sheer panic. And I used to give a lot of good advice racing, and I don't do it anymore.
I would like to build a side by side, so that
Seater?
well, just
So you
more
can
of a
see
side by
it.
side,
Yeah.
so you can see what's happening. But that way, all the mud off the right front, when it hits you in the face, and you yell, "I can't see! I can't see!" Well, neither can I. Pull your tear off. You know what I mean? It's like, well, why do you got to put so many of them things on there? Well, because you're blind.
Well, see, and I didn't
And then
even
give them
have
2 of
tear-offs.
them. So then they got to circle them like
yeah,
this.
then you got to
Yeah.
scrape the mud down. You know what I mean?
There's just
to
a lot going on. I think your average fan, everybody, you know those, what do you call them? Keyboard jockeys? They get on and tell you guys how to do your job, and
oh well,
everybody's
anybody.
got an opinion.
Well,
and
sure.
I read a good one today on Facebook with Chris Andrews going back and forth about the drawing and the not drawing, and I think Chris ran over a tire or something, so the drawing really didn't have anything to do with that. And he can text me if he wants to complain to me about it, because we've already teased about it. But totally lost my train of thought. Totally.
How about driving the race car?
We're professionals
How easy
here.
it is? Yeah, how easy it is to drive the car with
it's
the
just, I
two-seater
think all
and
those
pulling the tear
keyboard
off.
jockeys should have to get in and strap into
Just
one
go
and
see what it's
just-
like when it, you're looking at the sky or the dirt
To me,
or the
just
infield
firing
or-
it. Firing it.
Yeah,
was-
sure.
Most
was
people you
creepy.
could put them in the race. You could put them in your race car and send them out there, tell them how to start it, and they wouldn't go more than 20 miles an hour.
No.
No, I thought
They'd
I
be
would.
wore out from trying to steer it.
Well, sure,
Yeah.
just counter steer it. By the time you get up to the end of the
Yeah.
chute there, why do your arms hurt?
I
We
had-
actually made that mistake one time. We're getting ready to gear up for a Labor Day parade downtown Toledo for the Union Trades, Boilermakers Trade. And we showed up with a right rear and a left rear. Well, it's like a mile and a half parade
Oh,
on
How fun was
blacktop.
that?
I can't imagine.
I had my knee wedged in the steering wheel by halfway because the stagger pulled you so hard that we never made that mistake ever
Yeah.
again. Either put two rights or two lefts on it, but either way, that's got to roll straight,
Yeah.
not all that stagger. It'll break your arms by the end. And that's just no upstart. Everybody wants to start it. Well, you can clear all those little dancing girls out of the way and the band and everything. Like, yeah, we'll run this thing down through here, sure.
Yeah. Someone just sent me a video clip that made that suggestion for when the Word of Outlaws came in. Did you guys see that? Did you have
I
it?
seen a two-seat or a street legal.
This was a whole parade of cars somewhere in Pennsylvania, and they were full-fledged sprint cars in a parade. Fired.
That did like
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
parade lap.
No, a parade. Downtown, like a straight.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, you had to. It's on my. Somebody suggested that we do it the weekend of the World of Outlaw. Now, really, can you see me getting Steve Kinsler to drive his sprint car down Front Street?
I
Yes.
would be interested in something like that. I
Yeah.
really would.
It was
be.
In
cool.
fast parade though.
It,
Yeah.
and
I
it
think the idle
was.
pretty
There
good.
was a big break between them, but
Can we get some hay bales and
There-
some
it was
water
cool.
barriers and stuff
I
set
just-
up and maybe
I'd
do
go
a
with
little.
water barriers. I wouldn't go with the hay bales. That could invent it.
It's traditional. You know what I mean?
I suppose.
And they do jump out.
So
in
are
front of
downtown fires.
yeah, and there's that.
you. If you're gonna fire up that many sprint cars, yeah, the chances of fire are probably pretty good.
Yeah, this thing took forever. It was every car that they had.
Huh.
410 car, I'm assuming, and it was somewhere in, I want to say Western Pennsylvania or some track did it.
You know, that's what people say the World of Outlaw races are. Eldora.
It is.
Parades.
It's a parade, or I call it a fast train. Just
Now that's even a whole different ball game. I mean, trying to figure out Fremont's one thing, but going to Eldora and getting this far off the wall, that's a whole nother.
see, and that's where my bench seat racer
That's the
comes
next
back in.
level
To
of-
me, it tells me that that's the easiest thing in the world is to just lay it on the wall at Eldora and gas it up and go. I don't know. You
It
guys
sounds
can
good
tell
on
me.
paper.
In my mind, that's all you guys are doing.
I mean, I could send you a letter, when I drop the hammer down, and then, as the front end, your helmet's shaking and the car's shaking and your
Yeah.
eyeballs are going, just
But
don't
you-
run
but
into
when
that
you
wall
But
coming
it
up
looks
fast.
so easy
Right.
as a spectator.
It seems,
It
it does seem that way. I mean, most of the guys, everybody watches the front of the field anyways, and the cars are they're so hooked up that it does look somewhat effortless to go around the track. But if you ever, I seen it was on Facebook. It was, I don't know if it was Lil Hot and Child put the in-car camera inside of the,
It was Brad.
It was
Brad.
Brad.
Yeah.
and just the bouncing around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your eyeballs, and nobody realizes that. And I'm like, well, what do you mean you couldn't see? It was dusty. I'm like, well, it was bouncing around. It was dusty, and
Yeah.
you're just trying to look for the tail tank of the other guy in front of you, so you know where the end of the racetrack's at.
There's
But
a lot.
it's
While going 120 mile an hour.
yeah, and
Yeah.
don't forget he's next to you.
Yeah.
Sorry for shutting you down. My eyeballs was bouncing.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was there.
Yeah. I saw you. I didn't run into you. I'm just saying. Hey, you let us down Friday or Saturday night too. I
I-
told you before we went out not to let everybody down. You started on the pole.
It's rubbing salt in the wound is perfectly okay, but it wasn't that bad of a night. We had to put a totally new race car together
Yeah.
throughout the week while working 12-hour shifts while having a wife in the hospital for emergency deal, and my team
You still
managed to
went
get it
race?
together. Well, she knows how important it is to me, and after 5 days in the hospital, I'm leaving anyway. I couldn't take it no more. But brand new backup car, been sitting there with a piece of Visqueen over it. Every spare part we had.
And you put Harv in charge.
Well, I set the
Nice.
motor and put the axles in, and then they did everything else.
Then you put Harv in charge.
Yeah, I put Harvey. Harvey did a lot of work this week. I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
late nights. I mean, we had first and second shift going. They were there. I'd get off at 7, come over and pick up where they left off just to try to get that thing put together. And to start on the pole and drop backwards, yeah, it happened. I run second, third most of the show up to about 17, and I had the wing pulled back 5 laps in. I mean, I knew I was a dead man walking, but I tried to save face with what I had.
Where did you end up? I don't even know.
I ended up 6th, I believe,
Oh,
5th or
okay.
6th. I mean, it was a couple slides. I just couldn't. I didn't have enough drive to get off the corner to keep them from coming around me. I mean, there was no. I mean, I was double turning them. It just, my number was up. So,
Hanging on.
but I mean, it was almost a top 5. You know, we strived for that all year to make top 5 finishes, and yeah, we started on the pole, but we were faster than the other 15, 16 cars out there. So, I
Right.
mean, it pays. I mean, to throw a Hail Mary setup on it. I mean, I tried to look at notes from 2 years ago. Obviously, the tire's different. He's on good years and blah 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 and this and that. So you get your 3 hot laps and your heat race, and well, if you ain't figured it out by then, well,
Yeah.
pretty much you're in the bad news. But I mean, we made changes all night and progressed it, and I mean, it was. I almost spun the car out. I mean, we had to change the lock on the steering wheel because we didn't have it centered just quite
Oh.
right. And I
It's
went
one
to
of the things
counter.
people don't know about.
Well,
The little things
it
people
was
don't know
centered
about.
technically, kind of, but they didn't factor into the the draw
Technically,
on
kind
the
of. It's a
on the
term you probably
wheels.
don't
You know what I
want to
mean?
use.
It's not really, if you center it straight, well, you put all that draw on it. Well, now you've lost your counter steer. And one time I went to let go and come around, and it wasn't turning no more. And well,
Yeah.
hurry up, pull the Pitman arm off, and rotate it a little bit, stick it back down.
Which isn't necessarily that easy either when you're trying to get the little.
Yeah, trying to get the splines on
Splines
those
on
roads,
that
yeah, it's a
stuff.
pain, but we got it on there, and I mean, it was, my guys fought, and they kept me in the fight, and I ended up with, halfway, almost a top 5, so.
And where'd you finish up in points there? That was Attica's last point race.
That was
correct?
Attica's last point race. I believe we ended up 6th. I dropped from 3rd to 6th the weekend before because we couldn't make it due to the crashed car. And that's why I didn't show up on Saturday. I mean, if they would have poured me out of the side of the truck, I probably could have got there, but that car was, I mean, they had to carry it in the trailer. So it was bad off.
That's
We
the
wouldn't-
car you wrecked at Butler the night
That was
before.
yeah, that was a car that got tore up there. So it was, it was an unfortunate deal. It happened. Car's junk, but fortunate enough we had a backup frame
And you still
and
got fast
spare.
points. And where you at in the fast points? I know where you're at in the Fremont
I think I'm
points.
3rd in the fast right now too, and I got a slim. My margin's dropping.
points.
Yeah, 8 points is I mean, what is that? A spot and a half
Yeah.
at this point?
Yes.
Is it 5 points?
Goes by qualifying and heat racing too. That could change.
Yeah, it's.
In that.
I mean,
There's
it's a
still
crapshoot.
some, I don't know how many points races left. I don't know.
Two.
There's
Only
2 official scoreable points races.
That's
that
Fremont points.
Fremont points.
One more
The
fast
One more
point.
fast, one more Fremont.
6th and
6th of September, and then after the All-Star Show, there's one.
20, 27,
Something like that.
27th, I think.
26.
That's the final.
Right.
26.
The final.
That weekend. Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's a tough go around to try to 8-point margin. I mean, it could go, like you said, we're talking a spot and a half. So.
Well, I'm looking at the top 5 you guys are. Brian, you're still in it, right?
Yeah.
It's still
Yeah.
feasible.
You gotta be. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Yeah, you can,
Yeah.
I mean, because you can make up 30 points in a night. The
sure.
Right.
It's
Right.
one bad
Yeah.
night. I mean, we've
Yeah.
had bad nights this year. I'm sure everybody's had bad nights.
And it's gonna happen. I mean,
It's part of racing.
Right. You have to go into it. I always hate talking all the time about the war about that stuff, but I know Christopher and those guys went out and they won the Kings Royal, they won the Ironman, they ran second at the Knoxville Nationals, and then they go out and they wreck 2 cars. And
Yeah.
I asked him, I said, how's the team morale? And he's like, oh, it's good. We expect it. You can't go all year and they race 100 and
Sure.
plus races, but
Not
you
like a race
guys,
car.
it's gonna happen.
I mean, when I put a new one together, I know that it probably most likely get destroyed sometime in the future. It's just a matter of where and when and how do you want to do it. I mean,
Yes.
we totally lost a complete race car. I mean, the tank was held in by one bolt. The front end it wasn't even fixable enough to roll it in the trailer.
Have you watched the crash?
Yes, I have. I've seen it on YouTube and stuff, and it's pretty kind of self-explanatory if you've seen the infield view or the outfield view.
That's one of the worst wrecks I've seen.
It's that's one of the worst wrecks I've rolled. I mean, just the sheer impact to pogo stick a sprint car.
That
And
was
no, it's not an RC car, and yes, I am in the middle of that carnage. You know what I mean? And a little sore, a little messed up. It's look at it. I mean, people says, "Well, how are you here?" Well, I ended up working a 12-hour shift on Sunday because
They're that safe. I know that. I mean,
all the safety equipment did what
But
it was
they-
designed
right.
to do. I mean, my belt stretched, my seat bent, my SPI worked, or Safety Solutions, the little T-bar worked. It did stretch the little tabs that hook up to the helmet. They were about a half-inch extra, so I mean, it was,
So
they
did
were
their
severe
job,
for
yeah.
force, but they gave in some way, shape, or form just due to accept that much force. I mean, this would bend a little bit and that would bend a little bit, and I mean, you get shooken around pretty bad, but I mean, for the most part, you were way better off than, the old timers with no hoop, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, when they hit a cloud of mud and roll the thing over, well, that poor guy is perished, you know what I mean? That's how far the sport's come, just to try to make it safe enough for us to go out there and, if we get tore up, we can fight another day.
I'm glad you said that. I think the sport's taken kind of some punches lately and some black eyes on it. And they do. It seems like, they keep putting in place more and more safety features. I don't know how you feel about the tethers or all that
The
stuff.
tethers and stuff, I mean, if you want a tether, we'll put a rope on it, you know what I'm saying, or whatnot. But, sprint cars weren't designed to go this fast on these racetracks. They just,
Right.
the sport's evolved so much over time that, they're not 400 horsepower sprint cars, they're 900 horsepower sprint cars, and it's...
This isn't the glory days when the USAC ran 305s.
Yeah, no, it's just, I mean, even some of the pavement stuff, those guys are going, 170, 180 miles an hour on, the same concrete wall that, the guys with the hoops had, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, but they just weren't going that fast. But, I mean, it's like with the foam soft bears, people, do I like them? Do I not like them? Well, if it saves me, I've hit them before, you know what I mean? And I'm kind of glad that, hey, that thing gave, you know what I'm saying? It's just, one step at a time, one piece of the puzzle to try to keep these, guys like me and you not from, career-ending injuries,
Right.
At the racetrack. I mean, I've took a few nasty ones at Fremont. I mean, that dirt doesn't really give. It kind of catches and away you go, but it keeps you from, with the newer belts and, the newer seats and the headrests and the neck stuff. And I mean, you're not wearing a donut no more, you know what I mean?
Right.
Which we wore them for a lot of years because
Right.
that was the best thing we had, you know what I mean? But, it is what it
You
is.
catching all this lingo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's been around enough at the track and picked up on bits and pieces, and I'm sure there's a few weird things like, why is that guy trying to cut a hole in his tire? Stuff like that. And there's smoke pouring off of it and all that stuff, but
It takes a while.
that'd be a
She's
whole
done
nother
really
show.
Let's, we got some commercials we can run. Let's go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll come back and we'll talk more with Maria about that.
Cardiology, I don't have a heart. Pulmonary doctor, no cigar. I can't diagnose a simple cold or flu, but if your engine's got a cough, I know what to do. Give it 6 of these and wash it down with this. A new air filter ought to help it catch its breath. Now but know how. No, but know how.
Since I was born, I dreamed of being a Budweiser Clydesdale. Only problem is, I was born a donkey. So all my life, I practiced the Clydesdale walk and the Clydesdale pull. I even tried hair extensions on my lower legs. And then came my big interview. They looked me in the eye and said, "What makes you think you can be a Clydesdale, son?" And what was my answer? I must have said something right.
I know, right?
Welcome back to the Last Lap Live. I'm still Brian Smith, and those people are still who they are. And we just want to talk a little bit with Maria about the kind of stuff that she's learned this year and how involved she's going to stay after she's the Fremont.
I'm curious to know that one. If you're gonna stay involved.
I do plan to stay really involved, you know? It's kind of like, I've gotten to know everybody and it's like a family and it's kind of like one of my homes. I look forward to every Saturday night. I see the same people and like, one of my favorite people to see is Scott, the flagman.
Scott Farman.
Yeah, he's great. For the first 3 weeks of the races, we're both terrible with names. So he would walk up and be like, "Hi, Maria, it's nice to meet you. I'm Scott." I was like, "Oh, it's nice to meet you." And like the third weekend, Shelly looks at me, have you guys like not met? And we're just like, "Yeah, we met like 8
Because I've went
times."
this long and now.
But yeah, he's great, and I got to actually wave the flags, which not too many people get to do that. And actually, it was one of the scariest things I've ever done. When the 410 started their hot laps, I literally was just like, I need to get down. I need to get down now. Thinking, I feel like I'm gonna die. So, but once I started waving the flags, like, it was really cool, but like you can feel the force of the sprint
I do
car.
remember seeing that because you not only you look up, you're looking for a green flag, not blonde hair. You know?
Yeah.
It was something different to see, and I'm like, wait, I'm kind of
Wait a
I
minute.
better pay attention to what I'm doing here.
That's not Monty up there. What's that?
Yeah, but that was a ton of fun, and I've really gotten to know a bunch of the drivers, so that's really cool. And plus, I've gotten to know a bunch of wives, like Brian, your wife, every single weekend. She's like, "Hi, Maria, how are you?" And I'm just like, "It's so good to see you." And, you know, it's just great that I've gotten to know everybody so well. And, like, I plan to stay really involved just because, you know, I'm excited to see what the new Speedway Queen brings, because I brought the writing the notes for the drivers, and, you know.
That was wonderful, by the way.
Yeah.
That was
I'm
a
glad you
nice
liked
little
it.
special touch.
I thought it was cool that
enjoy
she did it on her own.
Yeah. And then plus you get a little picture. I do a little picture too. That's my favorite part. I'm actually working on a scrapbook where I'm going to have every single driver sign on the page where they won, so that I have that record for 50 years when I look back and can show my kids, look what Mom did. So, but
Well,
that's
when-
a lot of fun.
When you first came on, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little concerned. I have a lot of things that go on race nights. I don't know if you know,
Yeah.
because I'm all over the place. Farmer's in the infield, and that's pretty much his job. And when there's no toilet paper, and we're out of Mountain Dew, and so-and-so's mad because they picked the wrong fantasy league thing, and they're beating up the t-shirt girl. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, and going into it with you, I thought, oh, she's so nice, but she knows nothing. I am going to have to hold her hand all year long, and I don't really hold women's hands. I'm not a big fan of most women because I don't want to hold their hand.
Mhm.
I should recant that. I do like women. So.
Hey, edit that. Steven, just bring that back.
I try to
start
keep out of
just
the
before that.
drama, and it seems like if you get more than a couple women together, there's sometimes drama. But she
She
came
comes
in.
on here every week and rips women.
I do.
It's okay. It'll be okay. This is the best queen we've had so far.
Yeah,
You know what I
she's
mean?
done a really, really, really good job. I mean, she came in right away. She picked up on things, and she knew that I was busy, so she just kind of. I felt bad the first couple weeks because it's an intimidating place. You walk through.
Well, I
the
feel
pits.
bad for I understand the name passion of trying to remember people's names. My name's right here on my driver's suit,
Yeah.
so everybody can see it as you walk by. You know, hey, how you doing? But as you get, once you get past the race car at the 1,000 other diehard people that are there every weekend, it's
And you guys
everybody
put,
should.
and it's not like as a new queen she's gonna come and go.
Well,
I mean,
but
if you're
and then
if
they
your
say your name,
name's
at the
up
start of
here-
the race. You know what I mean? And they say your name when you pull off the track, or they say it's. You know what I mean? It's hard to. Okay, I've seen that guy 4 times, but
There's people that I've
his
seen
name-
there for years and years and years, and I don't know their name.
Me too, and they'll
It's
come up and
Bud,
carry on conversations
fella,
with
yep.
you.
Yep.
And
you shake their hand.
Yeah.
They're happy to see you. You're happy to see them, but
Yep.
for the life of
They
you,
walk
you
away and
couldn't.
Lindsay will say, "Mom, who was that?" I have no idea.
I get that
None
all the
whatsoever.
time.
Yep.
Kim will say, "Who was that?"
I don't know.
I do
I've known him
too.
for years, so I don't know who he is.
Yep.
Remember the name? Yeah,
We've been
it's
friends
tough.
forever.
We've been friends forever. I
I've known
couldn't
it.
tell you. Oh, they call him Scooter. I don't know.
I've seen people, I mean, even from like the go-kart days of being around here that are still die-hard race fans that, hey, I remember that guy, or I remember that guy, but
I'll tell you a good one. I had somebody come up to me in the pits, and this gentleman is there. I'm not going to say his name because I'm embarrassed that I didn't know this. Donated $1,000 to my Kick It deal. He wanted to do something with his car, and I'm not going to say it because if he's watching, he's going to know I didn't know who he was. And I had to go get Farmer and take him by and say, "Who is this guy right here?" Because he's going to give me $1,000, and I don't know his name. And I didn't want to tell him. I'm going, "Yeah, sure, thanks a lot." And I drive away, and I'm like, "How am I going to find out who this guy is now?"
you'll
How am I
have
gonna
those
get
ups
this
and
one?
downs. I mean, you'll have that. It's tough to remember everybody's name.
Yeah,
I mean,
just
it's-
suck it up and say, I don't remember your name. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Remember the face,
Yeah.
just can't remember the name. You know what I mean? That's
So that could be your job next year. You could go around and inform all the people at the racetrack who the other people are.
That don't sound like a lot of fun.
Not really.
it might be more fun than you
Yeah, it could be.
Actually,
get to know
Maria's
everybody.
done such a good job this year. I'm going to bring her back onto the. She's going to be a judge for this year's contest. I wasn't going to tell that, but I didn't want everybody bombarding you with
Yeah.
getting a whole bunch of gifts and.
Erase that part too. You don't want people to know that.
She'll go
Yeah.
home and you'll have all kinds of new friend requests and stuff. But there's some little girls we're doing a Little Miss, and there's 9 of them trying out for Little Miss. So
That's crazy.
yeah. So Maria's gonna come back and do some helping with us, and hopefully
I'm
stick
excited
around
too.
next year.
Well, you don't have to leave forever.
Oh, I'm not.
You're
leaving
hooked
for
now.
it.
You know what I mean?
know.
Like once
She was like our marketing gimmick, and she didn't know it. We went and we passed. We had all these. What did I tell you? 40,000, 10,000 free school tickets. And I went and called all the schools and got all the numbers from K to 12, and I went and delivered all of them, which is a nightmare anymore because you have to be like CIA to get into schools.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the black doors.
Oh, it's horrible. And she came on the free ticket, and we always said if we give out these 10,000 free tickets, maybe if we get 10 new fans, it's
Sure.
worth it.
Oh, yeah.
So we ended up getting at least one that
A
came back.
diehard.
Yeah.
And look where you're at now.
And when she was going to run for queen, she was like, I don't know. I really don't know that much. And they do ask some pretty tough questions because you had last year Shirley Keir was, and Shirley's a tough woman. She didn't pussyfoot around asking you. You know, she went up against all race names. There was a Harrison girl, a Keegan girl. I mean, they were a Rupke granddaughter. So there was a lot of
Die
history
hard.
there
Yeah.
that she had to go up against, and she just did a really good job. Way to go,
Good thing they don't
Maria.
answer us,
Thanks.
ask us questions. You know what I mean? Like
That's why you're here, so we can.
we
ask
get
you
colors
questions.
for the flags. You know what I mean? That tells us all we need to know. It's a simple color system.
Well, then Ross yells in our ear too.
Yeah.
That helps.
That it all depends.
How much
what
fun
we
is
do.
that?
It is helpful.
I'm
But-
in the tower a lot of times, and I
You
just
wonder
always
how many
wondered-
times guys are really listening.
Well, I can tell you my favorite time is when someone doesn't have their radio on,
Yeah.
and then Ross rips them
Continues
and just
to-
just toasts them in there, and then that's kind of funny actually.
Oh yeah, you can hear.
But they
there's-
have no idea.
Nope, no idea.
No,
They're
he's on to
still-
you guys though. If he thinks you have a radio and he thinks you're just not listening to him, he'll say, "Give me a wave," and y'all wave at him. See ya.
I wave it.
I agree. No matter.
Yeah,
what.
I just I wonder that I get yelled at a bunch. You know what I mean? But never. I've never got a radio check to wave at. You know what I mean? I thought that was.
I just go by the front straightaway and just
Yeah.
every time, whether I got my radio on or not, just
Yep, we're
just
just
in
to go.
case.
Yeah,
Yeah.
brownie points.
Yeah. Well, that way.
We
you-
fall back to the color system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's easy. Okay, the lights out. All right.
I sit up there
Time to
sometimes
go.
and I hear him like even when the All Stars are there, and I've heard Kyle talk to some of the drivers, and I'm like, oh my god.
Oh yeah.
See, I would have to stop and
You're not getting paid.
go upstairs.
Yeah.
You're not getting your check.
Really? I mean,
Better get in line.
I'm actually like sometimes you guys are lining up for the feature, and I hear the way like he's speaking to you, and I'm mad. I'm thinking, gosh, these guys have to be mad if I'm mad because I'm listening to it and I need to leave the room.
It's probably good it's a one-way
Yeah.
system instead of a two-way system because you'd never. I don't think you'd ever get a word through.
See, I think he
Everybody
would
at
just
one
like a
time.
nice
Oh, yeah, for
calming
sure.
voice and politely ask you guys, hey,
Well, I don't know if that's gonna work. When you think you've got a guy at the line
Yeah.
and the other guy thinks he got you at the line, a calm word's not gonna get
No.
you to get in the line.
No.
They tell you that when the yellow comes out, just get in line and we'll put you in the right spot.
Yeah.
And I do the same thing. You put me in the right spot, and then I'll get in line. That's the way that works.
I mean,
rather
I've
relax
lost
somebody.
2 spots. I've gained 2 spots. It goes both ways, but it's like, well, wait a minute. You know I passed him 2 laps ago. You know what I mean? Like, well, are we going back 2 laps now, or
Yeah,
maybe
I
it
don't
just
like
felt like 2 laps ago? You know what I
Right.
mean? But
I've been racing with this guy forever.
I know I got
the
him.
corners, you know. Jeez.
that's it.
I never
happens.
complain though when I get, you know. up
I
a
fall
spot
into
or two.
line because
Never ever.
you usually know that you're not going to get paid at the payout window if you.
Has that ever, does that really happen?
No, but it's pretty effective on the
Yeah.
mic. You know what I mean?
It's kind of crappy, but
I mean, I've heard at different places, you know, we're kicking the whole. You're out of here. Like, don't even.
see, I've
You
never
don't
heard
get
that.
off the racetrack. You got the black flag that we're banning you. I mean, I've heard some.
I've never heard that at Fremont, but I guess we just don't have those issues a whole lot of times.
Not really.
Yeah, not really. Really?
Unless they key the
Never
mic
have.
up, you know, I've heard that before a couple times where he bumps the mic and keys it up, and you can hear people just, you know, randomly talking.
Yeah,
Who's this guy over here who's got his phone ringing?
During the
You know,
radio
show.
show?
He's sitting in on us, and then he's got his phone turned on. That's never happened to Shelly or I. We've never had our phones turned on while
Never?
the show's been going.
his does something weird too. Like
I went ahead and put mine on vibrate.
Yeah, mine vibrates and stuff.
First time radio watcher, you know, he was scared to come and sit on the couch right here. We had a spot. Look at this. We could have put him on here, but it's okay. It was a photo, you know,
would've only
called a
cost
photo
you a
bomb
bottle
or
of
a
wine.
digital error, something like that.
your dad's been filling out my wine collection. I have a really nice wine collection.
That is really nice
And it
wine.
don't shoot the corks out of it. I've had some cork issues, not out of your dad's wine, but I have had some cork issues.
Well, being that he's so famous for that wine, we had to add a corkscrew to our toolbox that we never do without, because we have had to open a few of them with drill bits and other such tools that we had. You know, maybe like the old two-stroke chain pull. Yeah, we used one of them one time. But we'll get that cork out, because on the other side
Somehow
of it,
you have to. It's
without
a
breaking the
must.
glass, you know, nobody wants to drink glass, so
No.
we'll end up getting it out.
Well, you guys have a good time down there. You got food quite a bit.
Always.
You guys always have food down there?
Always.
Always
Okay.
have food? I know I've been
Which,
offered
by
one.
the way, I hear about this food all the time. I'm under the impression all year up until we just took our break
Oh,
that
you're
your
in
dad
trouble.
is the best cook around. That he cooked his nobody beats his cooking. And then you tell me my dad don't cook any of that food. He brings it all in.
I mean, we do have, smoked ribs
Now
and
he's
sometimes
backpedaling
smoked
over.
brats
You
and
catching
stuff
this?
like that. You're really supposed to turn the phone off, you know what I mean? Like, that wasn't just a joke.
It was getting worse when he was sitting over there. He's playing a video game. He was playing Pac-Man over there.
But, no, we, for years and years and years, ever since I was a little boy, we've always, you know, took and tried to make it a family deal, or, you know, just have fun and, you know, hang out. Like you said, you meet these people, and they're the same people over and over and over again. And whether you like them or not, you're going to count on seeing that person at the racetrack. You know what I mean?
You might as well like him. Might as well
Or
like him.
pretend. Dad.
It's okay.
You want us to take a
That is
commercial
my
break?
father right there. I'm proud of him. Not one bomb, but two.
He was
It's
trying
okay.
to turn it off, I think.
Hey, I just heard you on the Last Lap Live. Somebody's
Hey,
listening.
turn
Somebody's
your
watching.
phone off.
Yeah, right. You want us to take a commercial break so you can take that?
But yeah, the food thing. I mean, we've always had tables and crock pots, and I mean, the dirt show goes a lot faster. But back in the pavement, my Uncle Kenny, we actually did prime ribs at the racetrack
Really?
one time. I mean, two full, not one, but two full prime ribs. Hey, buddy, go cut what you want. You know what I mean? And you go up there and cut you a big old 2-inch slit, all you in the bottom of the pan. But that was when you got there. You know, gates open at 7 a.m. and
Right.
hot laps were still at 6 p.m. But you had to be there to
Right.
unload all
Right.
your crap. We just
Well, you wanted to get there before.
fire up the grill. I mean, we've probably had, 10 gas grills fall apart in that trailer, just hauled all over the country. I mean, we did away with that one time, throw him under the bus here. We actually had it rain out one time, and he was going to decide to cook in the trailer
And you
next
caught
to
it
the
on fire.
methanol cabinet.
Oh, no.
And I decided to leave because I didn't want no part of that. But, yeah, we took the gas grill out of the trailer after that little... There was no explosion, but there was pretty good fire going on the
Yeah,
trailer.
that happens.
Grease
You gotta
fire.
be careful with
You
that
know,
stuff
you put
that
40
blows up.
cheeseburgers on, the fire. Yeah, you're gonna have grease fire coming here
Yeah.
shortly. I know people got to eat, but you know, grease fire, fire's fire.
It is.
But
It's true.
yeah, we've always did it. We've always encouraged people to, hey, if you want to make a dish or something, to come hang out with the trailer, or whatnot. I mean, I do love the walking tacos and the root shredded chicken sandwiches. You can't, get away from those. But
They're getting $7.50 for one of those. Did you see that?
A walking
A
taco?
walking taco at the fair, $7.50.
Wow.
wow,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
should pull up the trailer down there. We can get some
Start
more
making your
sponsorship
own.
money.
Yeah, no kidding.
I have to talk to Rich
Crazy.
about a sales permit so I can get in the track. Hey, this
Yep.
is a public, this is a Fremont mecca right here. There's the
Right.
45 trailers parked in his original spot, and he's got walking tacos.
That's right.
We actually do walking tacos sometimes. We'll just do a crock pot full of meat, and it makes it easy. Throw it together, grab it what you want. And but the grill, I mean, we used to do steaks and bratwursts, and I mean, actually stand there and grill them out. You know what I mean? Just to make the day go by, because I mean, it'd take you forever just to get
Yeah.
into it.
Is that one of the reasons you stopped doing the pavement deal?
No, this is funny, and I know you're gonna laugh for sure. But we were gonna save money.
Oh,
by
yeah?
coming dirt racing.
How'd that work out for you?
It, we actually don't use as much diesel fuel now.
Well-
And that's about the only fair
Because the
and
tracks are
accurate.
closer.
A little bit, you know what I mean? 20 minutes to Fremont and 45 to Attica. I mean, we're not going to southern Indiana or Pennsylvania or...
Nobody's offered you tow money.
No, well, almost. But, you're not, you know what I mean?
I
It
didn't
races racing and
did I?
yeah, I'm kind of falling into that hole right now where I just want to put my hands down and cry. If you looked at the trailer, you know how people have their workbenches with all their tools drawn out. Well, we got radius rod, and there ain't no radius rods there. And there's the front axle and the rear axle rack. Well, there ain't nothing in it. And
That's
you
not
know
a
where that
good-
nose wing be? Yeah, there ain't one there
and
either.
that sucks right now for you because we're coming into some big races.
Big races,
We
but
have-
I don't
For
know what's
us, we
complaining
got
about.
some.
I don't even have any racks. So
it's. I mean, we.
He's got racks.
You take everything you got. I mean, it's like a rolling. Whatever you can get in that trailer, you think you could possibly need for the night.
my
it-
guess
it's in
is that if something happened, you'd have 5 teams standing there. Next
there
to
are
you.
parts there at the track
Yeah.
that are available if you don't have it. I mean, I think I've led a mag box once and an actual coil once to Philo. We're hard competitors, but hey, he needed a coil. Guess what? I had one, same one.
Yeah.
Paul dropped it
That
in.
seems to be standard.
It's
Yeah. Well, I just heard the last 3 weeks at Attica, Caleb Griffith, I heard him on Todd Buffenberger's show, that they've had trouble with power steering pumps and that kind of thing, and he's got 5 different teams over there helping
Sure.
him get everything together, and so that they can keep going and they end up winning the championship because of other teams helping them out.
well, that's where the family thing kind of comes into it. I mean, I'm called a pavement guy. I'm really a road course guy, by the way. But I am racing dirt.
You've
But
been a dirt guy for a long time.
yeah, I mean, this is about 6 years now on the dirt, so the faces are pretty familiar. You know who you can run with, who you can't run with. I mean, even though I slammed the door on you, you know what I mean. You didn't
Did he
crash
shut the
me,
door?
you know what I mean?
I didn't get to go to the races Saturday because we had.
Oh, this was weeks and weeks.
Yeah,
and
this
weeks
is
ago.
weeks of it. Well, the 91.
It still
after
must
she
be
sat his
bitter.
car.
You know what I mean? Because
It is.
of the-
Well,
You didn't
If
get
I'm
the-
gonna- I'm
you
gonna
didn't
get you
get
on
the
my
card
show.
or the picture.
I'm gonna
I
get you
know.
on my show and I'm gonna rip you
You-
because you can't stop me. So I have the microphone.
There you go.
It's his toys and he.
Yeah.
That's right.
If you could just get the phone to quit ringing in the background.
Yeah, right. No, then you know, it was the cut me off and out. Your dad's got the phone ringing. It's
Just destroying the whole the whole 2+ saga. But, well, I was happy you were the queen this year. I mean, like I said, the little cards and everything were a big deal. You know what I mean? I wasn't expecting it. You know what I mean? And to get 2 cards at Fremont, sorry.
No, hey.
Salt in the eye or
Good
something
for
like
you.
It
that.
goes,
But
and it
Good
goes
for
a
you.
long way, doesn't it?
it makes you feel good.
It does.
You know what I mean?
Every Sunday I try to. CJ, right? Chris.
Right.
Works with Brian. He's our track photographer. Every night before I leave, he gives me feature winner pictures. Every Sunday when I'm doing the accounting stuff, I get a thank you card and I send those off so that they're in Monday's mail. And I cannot tell you how many people. It's a big deal to people to get a thank you card. And it's so easy and it just means
Sure.
it.
The little things that
To
that
take the
count.
time to do it.
Did you get you got an 8x10 from Victory Lane that night, didn't you? Doesn't he do that for the feature winners? Doesn't he give an 8x10 to them?
He does
that night?
to us, and
I've
whoever
got a
the sponsor
bunch of-
night is.
Oh, okay.
Who was the
Yeah.
sponsor night when you won? Because I remember sending them.
I would have remembered if I won.
I had the whole concussion thing, you know what I mean? Like a
Oh,
little
sure.
foggy still, memory banks.
Excuses.
Yeah, I can make up anything on the fly or try to. I'm trying to think back because when you win a race, you're so excited that you're at an absolute la la land. I mean, you're tired, you're excited, you're still huffing and puffing, and here comes the microphone right at you.
How many have you won this year?
2.
How many did you win last year?
2.
2. Okay.
So
You went 2 at Fremont last year?
2 at Attica last year.
2 at Attica last
2
year.
at Attica
and
last
2
year,
at
and
Fremont
2 at Fremont this year. It seems our lucks went the other way as far as the 2 tracks went, and I'm just happy to be sitting in the spot that I am right now. But you fight each weekend, but it's the same plot of dirt, but it just don't work the same
Well,
way.
you won one of them on a cowboy up track, and you won one of them on a dead slick track.
dead
So
Is
which
that-
one do you like?
I
Don't
like
look
the
at
cowboy
Brian.
up track.
Yeah,
I'm-
that's
I'm
the kind
out-
I like.
Yeah, We are dirt racing, or call it, we're wet clay racing. You know what I mean? We're not baby powder racing. It's
Exactly.
from a driver's standpoint. Why have 900 horse if we're running 18, 19 second laps? You know what I mean?
I like it.
I would take it either way, as long as it's a two lane racetrack. Sometimes we make it 3 lanes, sometimes we make it 4 lane.
And sometimes when it gets cowboy up, it's more 1 lane. It seems like, but if you can get it,
Sure.
I like it. I think it puts
It
more
really
in
hasn't
the-
been at Fremont though. Even when it's like that, there's been
Still
lanes
2
that you
lines
run.
at the bottom was still good enough
So
to
fast.
run down there. I mean, even though the
See, in
cushion
a
was-
perfect world for me, if anybody cares, I like cowboy up around the top, not pity patting around the bottom.
Yeah,
I don't want to watch that.
but it's tricky to
You
try
don't
to
watch
run
races
side by
like
side
I
next
do.
to a guy
I
on
do
the
try
cushion.
to watch
But that's where it
races.
comes into 1 lane. If the bottom's not good enough to be there, then you're stuck around the top. Where if nobody messes up, nobody's gonna get passed.
What's your preference? Does
I
it?
don't know.
Do you know yet?
It's
I
okay to
actually
say
have a
no.
really good question that I'm going to save for an important time if we ever come to about
We'll make sure we make it.
how much dirt can you wash out of your hair at the end of the night?
Throughout the night, I always go like this before the driver
picture?
comes up. Yeah.
Just to get
the second, like,
Bend
I
over.
walk onto Victory Lane, I'm just like, okay, I gotta fix my hair, I gotta, fix my shirt, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Because, like, I'll go home and you can just see the dirt in my hair. And it's not like I can put a hat on. I mean, a hat
Well, sure,
is
the
not
crown.
gonna
You
fit.
have your hat on. That's
Yeah, this is my hat.
That's your
Keep
hat.
in mind, she made her first trek outside of Fremont Speedway this year
Oh, really?
to Lima.
Wow.
Went to Lima and Attica. I actually went to Attica 2 weeks ago, so it was really cool because I got to just be in the pits and actually see like what the drivers actually do. Like, I had no idea how much you guys actually do. Because I
Why
was
do
just
they
like,
keep
oh,
running
it
around that
just
racetrack?
happens, right? You just go on the track and everything's perfect. But they pull in and they instantly start working on a car. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, so it was
There's-
really cool.
For as few pieces that's on that car, there's an awful lot of changes to make throughout the night, and you do it to try to stay ahead of the game and be better than the competitor. But in a 3 or 4 hour complete show, it's boom, 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 boom. And I mean, there are times where all that food we bring, I can double handfuls of times that I've not even ate until we get back to the
Yeah.
shop, because it happens so fast. I mean, there are nights that you sit there all night and you say, hey man, we're good, buddy, we're at fast time, yeah, sweet one to heat, all right, we're perfect.
Don't happen too often.
And there's nights that, I mean, you've worked and worked and worked and worked and worked and worked all night long from start to finish. So it could go either way of how your night's going to go. Call it the pill draw, call it qualifying.
Do you have a preference on that?
I'd soon
Either
rather
or.
qualify. I'll take the pill draw. My guys have been razzing me all year about qualifying, and
You
it's,
get qualified pretty good though.
it's bad when little kids come up to you and tell you to qualify good, and and before you leave the house, your wife tells you to qualify good. You know what I mean?
Because
It's
there's
like
so
there's
much
no pressure, and hey, by the way, you get 1 lap. Okay,
Yeah.
don't mess it up.
It is honestly my favorite. Has always been my favorite part of the night. If you don't qualify for me, it takes my personal preference takes away from the show because it kind of sets the tone for me.
Well,
I
it's-
can
it's-
kind of judge. You can kind of like see what's going on, what's gonna go on throughout the night.
It's so much part of it. You know what I mean? Qualifying is a part of circle track racing. I mean, it always has been. It should always be. I know people want to speed the show up, but I've seen the diehards come down and actually watch qualifying. You know what I mean? The people that want to see, they actually want to be there and see who's
Yeah.
faster.
That's
who's
my
doing
favorite
what.
part during Speed Week. When we go to a Speed Week
The
show to
qualifying.
watch, I love watching the qualifying.
Me too.
I
I
want
love
it to be
it.
2 laps.
Sure.
And I want to see them guys run as hard as they can
Me
for
too.
2 laps.
And
I'm different, I guess.
it does separate the men from the boys. And I mean, I've got close to the front. You know what I mean? No quick times yet, but this is a tough crowd that we're dealing with here. You know what I mean? And it's hard to put everything together in 1 lap. Well, guess what? I was just mounting a tire. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden, okay, go put 1 down. You know what I mean?
You're in the first
Yeah,
hot
you're-
lap session. You need to change the shock and you need to
It's
move a tire around or something, and then
yeah. Go out there and by the way, lay only 1 lap down, or what is it, a lap and a quarter? You know what I mean? You get your little.
Yeah, your little warm up.
And you don't know, well, why didn't you move the wing? Well, I was busy holding on to the race car, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I couldn't.
Yeah.
But I do think qualifying should be It's part of it. I mean, we've got it down now. I mean, even the 305 guys, hey, you know, the guy goes by, push the next car. You know you're getting off the track, he's getting on the track. And we can get through in a reasonable bound of time where you don't need to take qualifying away from.
And not to bash the drivers, but a lot of times the slowness of the qualifying is getting the cars to the staging area.
Sure.
I mean, if I went to that World of Outlaw show and they 44 cars, I click them off
Sure.
like that. Like honestly, I had 15, 20 minutes. They're in and out of
The
there
whole
and they're
field.
done. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, but they know where they're supposed to be. They're there. I hear a lot of times over the radio, Justin calling 3 or 4 times. I say, if you're not there, you're not there.
Yeah, you get
You miss your
scratched, you know.
spot. You
Unfortunately,
go out
you
at
try
the
to
end
pay
of the deal.
attention, and you know sometimes you're not next to the speaker, or
Yeah.
you know usually you try to designate one guy. You know, hey, go around and check the board, see what where we're going out at. Or
I'm notoriously slow for getting in the car when it's my turn to ball.
Are you?
Yeah, I don't. I like to watch whoever's in front of me, just to see where everybody's running. And then
see, that's
get
a
in at
big.
the last
That is a
minute.
big factor of trying to see where everybody's running at. You know what I mean? And you try to get a guy to sit up at the fence and.
Yeah, and then you gotta trust their judgment.
Yeah, it's like I've had, oh man, the top's fast, and then you get back in there and you watch the next 3 guys go 4 times faster and they run the bottom. You know, it's me like, well, you told me the top it was fast.
I swear it was, I swear.
No, it wasn't. Look, we're running 10th now, like, or just typical driver error. I mean, I can't tell you how many times, you know, you want to do, you know, hold it wide open. Well, you don't normally race that way, but you qualify that way.
Yeah.
And hey, is it going to stick? Is it not going to stick? Did you jump the cushion? Did you get the left rear on it? Did the frame rail hit? And you got 2 ends to figure it out. So, but that's part of the motorsports deal. I mean, hey, if you can lay a lap down, hey, you're fast, okay, this is where you're going to go. And, you know, we do the offset for, you know, to make the racing, you know, somewhat exciting. You can't just have a fast guy just take off every time. So, but that's part of getting into the show. And, I mean, how many times have you seen really, really good cars in the B main? And it's like, well, now you feel bad.
Brad Bowman last year set fast time like 5 times.
Yeah.
And congratulations, you could start 6th on a 1-lane racetrack.
Yeah.
You know, he ran the B main almost every week when he set fast time like that.
Yeah.
Makes it hard.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, that just goes to show how good the cars are. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, you know, all the way back through. You're
And I
not.
think we've gotten to a point now where everybody's really close to being especially, in the 305s too. I mean, I was just looking, there's like 12 points between the top 5
Sure.
going into Fremont.
Those guys are just as serious as the 410 teams are. I mean, you know, they put countless of nights. I mean, they're still doing all the maintenance and everything, and those boys they're serious. I mean, they're.
So, going back to that point thing, there's, are we at 64 years at Fremont?
63 or 64.
You know, Stephen, we're all looking to you for guru.
Pay attention, Steve.
Yep.
24
64.
different, I know this because I looked it up today, 24 different track champions, and you are 8 points ahead of Byron Reed. What are you going to do to
Well,
prepare
first thing I'm
yourself?
going to do is knock on wood.
You know, pound on the microphones.
Well,
You reached up there like,
If I could have seen the look on his face for I'm going to ride this one out.
I have to rewind that.
for the first 6 shows, every week we got a comment from somebody, quit pounding on the table.
Don't touch it.
Don't let people pound on the
Oh,
table.
sit there and tap it?
Yeah, because people would stand there like this.
Well, we had
Sure.
like a
Yeah,
workbench.
right.
to
We had a
begin
different
with.
setup to start with.
It was horrible.
But
Yeah, I
Anyway.
want to try to get rid of. I don't believe in the jinx, but if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I'm coming out swinging. I'm not going to back down. You know, I'm going 100% with every exhausted option that I have to try to win this track championship. You know, we've kind of struggled a little bit. You know, we got this new car, or the new old car. That's, you know, to have, you know, a minute and a half on the thing and go out there and put a feature setup on it and try to run up front with these guys. Hey,
It's a,
that's
it's a new old car, so it's a car you've raced before?
Yeah, it was
One you put
4
away
year
for a
go-karts.
reason?
Well, we sandblasted and powder coated it and shined it up real good, and we were going to try to sell it, and it never sold, and it just kind of sat there, and hey, we got a good backup car, and hey, if we ever need it, well, you know.
Because I
they
know
can-
they're all temperamental, and we had one at my house once, and I would always make the comment not to allow it to sit next to the other race cars because it was just bad. I don't care what you did, it was just a bad race
A
car.
bad
So I
jinx.
would always say, I called it the hell bitch. Don't let it sit by any of the other race cars because
It's
And I
the
wondered
jinx.
if you just put it away because you didn't like
No,
it.
we updated new car. We got this new one out, and we had really good luck with it, and it just kind of fell by the wayside. But if you can't get what you think it's worth or what somebody else is willing to pay for it, well, hey,
It's better sitting.
yeah, I'll just keep it.
Not
what
costing
I mean?
anything.
Yeah,
Right.
this is just so I kept it, and the rainy day came, and we had to pull out all the stops, and unfortunate enough, I had a backup frame there. Otherwise, I'd be scratching to try to find a ride or somebody else's car, or to try to make these last two shows, in order to be a champion. And I mean, sleepless nights are definitely part of championship status. You know what I mean? As far as all these people, all the past championships, everybody's put blood, sweat, and tears in order to win that championship, and now it's so close, and it could go either way. That I'm just fortunate that we're actually in contention to be a champion.
Have you won a championship before? Did you win one on the pavement?
No, never won a pavement championship. Won a couple races, rookie of the year and stuff like that. I think the last championship I won was out here at Hasselbach's.
When they called it Hasselbach.
Yeah, in like Yamaha S or something. I had a junior 4-cycle championship, and we came runner-up in the shifter carts twice, in the 80 shifter carts and the 125 shifter carts. But never, won a lot of shows, always been fast, but, to be the champion, you're the champion, you know what I mean? Through the good and the
Well, you
bad.
got this guy, Chris Andrews, Byron Reed,
All
and
past
Caleb
champions.
Griffiths, all chewing on you, so I wish you luck.
The heat's on, I know that.
Ryan's
These guys
going,
ain't giving up.
uh-huh.
Yeah, he's like,
And I'm not putting that much heat on you, but I will stuff you now. If I see a chance.
I definitely am not lifting it anymore.
Saturday night we go back to, we're talking about champions work. We've got Salute Our Champions Night. I think we've got 35 of them signed, 35 of them signed up to come back, so.
I got one.
He's
a
just
sport
saying.
fan.
I'm a pavement
He's
guy.
just saying.
I'm a pavement guy.
You were a pavement guy.
Yeah.
You're clearly a dirt guy now.
Well, that's what they
Clearly.
thought on pavement, that I came from the dirt. Where'd you come from? I'm like, oh, we race go-karts, man.
You race any go-karts now? I mean, you
Uh,
don't mess around with them? Run
I
Fort
know I
Wayne, that
had,
kind of stuff?
no, I've been helping a buddy of mine out with a 600 mini sprint at Fort Wayne, and I used to help buddies out at Fort Wayne in the go-karts and stuff, but the last time I drove a go-kart, jeez, I think I was getting ready for the Clyde Street race, found a bunch of old go-karts one time, bought them up and fixed them up for my buddies and stuff, and let them go run them, and it's been, I think I jumped in somebody else's cart at the time, but it's probably been 4 or 5 years since I actually a racing cart, you know what I mean, where the oval stuff we were laying down side. I just don't know where that whole oval, when we raced, indoors or in dirt, they had dirt tires on them, you know what I mean, you were a straight rail go-kart, and you just raced them, with number panels, that was all you had. Now they're all just laid down in scales and camber and caster and stuff, and I understand how it works, but all that stuff for a go-kart, I mean, if you've been to one of them big oval shows that are like 10,000 to win, and these guys show up with trailers bigger than ours, and they got little ovens with tire rotisseries in them, and they got 500 tires on the wall.
You ever seen any of that stuff?
No.
Oh, it's
Pretty
great.
insane.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
lathes, little mini lathes that cut the tires. It's
Is this all Greek?
technology.
Yeah.
It's came a long way. You know what I'm talking about.
I do. I've seen it, yeah.
Sorry for
No.
pulling you guys out of the loop on that one. We'll go
No,
back to
no.
something.
Want to throw out there before we wind up tonight, Maria wants to race in the Powder Puff Derby, so anybody out there, Steven blew up his truck, so you can't race Steven's truck, but
No.
Maria's looking for a truck.
Yeah, I don't have a truck yet. But
So we gotta find a
I'm
truck.
not real
Well,
sure
we
I
can-
have mine either, but I'm thinking that they're gonna let me wreck their truck again this year, so.
So the
sounds
Powder
like-
Puff is October 4th?
Fourth,
Fourth?
Yep.
So we got a couple shows in between. We can get some truck guys on
Yeah.
here, and then we'll just lean on them until
Sure.
we get
Yeah.
Maria.
Hey, listen, buddy. You want to be on the show? Guess what?
That's right.
Yeah.
Looking for a powder puff.
I was gonna ask you if you were interested in doing that. I didn't realize
Yeah.
that you were gonna do that. so.
I'm super excited because I figured, I might not have another chance to do it again. But the hardest thing is going to be doing all my Speedway Queen obligations
Oh, we can make
and all my
arrangements
driving.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want you
You
in a
can
Powder
still wear the
Puff.
crown
When
with
is
a
the-
driver's suit on.
I know.
Put
My
the
mom was
sash
just
over
like,
the
you can
driver.
put a crown on the helmet or like in the top of the car.
When's the
Glue it
new
on
Queen
there.
contest?
The same day as Kick It.
So you already have a new queen.
But Maria will stay through January.
But what I'm saying is that they
She
can
could come
practice
out.
that day while
Yeah.
you're
Straight. Oh.
while you're doing that.
Yeah.
You can kind of guide her through that while they're trying to teach you how to shift the
I'm like,
three-speed.
no, get a I'm getting a no shifter truck. I do not like the shifter trucks.
No, get a shifter truck. They're faster.
They are faster,
Well-
but there's more going through your head. No, there's only
It's
two.
not that easy.
I'm gonna,
No.
yeah.
You got to push in the left pedal to get
Yeah.
it to go
Oh,
forward.
man.
and
There's
all
a
that
lot.
kind of stuff.
And I
Oh,
just
did you have
go
the late
with-
model style
Oh, yeah, yeah.
transmissions in it? Yeah.
I've caught a lot of grief this year because I wrecked that last truck that I raced. I want a non-shifter truck. I just want a regular put it in and go truck because there's way too much going on in there to be shifting
Thinking
gears.
about.
Make
Yeah.
sure you get a suit that fits, gloves that fit, and a helmet that fits. That's
Yeah,
the
you don't
most
want the
important
helmet
thing.
coming down over the eyes.
yeah.
That's.
My wife did it several years ago when they did it at the fair race, and she got bumped in the rear end, and my helmet went down on her face, and then she's trying to hold the helmet up like this, and she had one of them transmissions where you had to push with the left foot for it to go forward and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And
They can be pretty tricky.
she's
It's a
never given
lot
me
of-
any guff about driving anymore though. Since then,
It's a lot of
That was
fun.
it.
Is Kim gonna race this year?
No, I doubt it. I don't think she wants to do it again.
Oh, we should talk her into it. It's a lot of
You can
fun.
try. You can go ahead and try. I don't think she
I would
wants
just want to
today, but-
redeem myself because I did a lot of damage to the poor guy's truck.
There's some girls that go fast. Terry Harrison and
Terry's pretty good.
McGrath.
McGrath.
And, yeah, some of them they go pretty fast.
The two of them, I think, have
Rando, didn't she race too?
I don't
Steve Randall's
remember.
mom, I thought she raced too.
The McGrath ladies who wrecked me.
But yeah.
Yeah. Trying to enter in the pits and she tried to pass me on the right.
That's
Yeah. On the caution after the checker flag.
Well, you say you're safer on the racetrack because all the cars are going in the same direction.
I even took a cool down lap. I thought I'll go down one more lap just so everybody else is off the racetrack and I go
She's
to turn
not
it.
bitter anymore either.
No.
You never forget that stuff, do you?
No, never. Never ever.
All right. Anything else you want to push before we get out of here? I think it's 8 o'clock.
Just that if the girls, anybody wants to do what Maria does, we're taking their applications until the 1st, which I'll probably end up is a holiday, so I'll go till Tuesday.
Yeah, and I would really encourage any of the girls trying out to contact me. I've already had 2 of the 4 girls contact me, so the 2 that haven't, I'd love to get to know them because, that would just help me decide, is this person, fit to be the Speedway
It's a
queen?
big commitment. You
It
haven't
is.
missed any race. She's done all
Yeah.
the Hall of Fame stuff. She's done all the she's been involved in
Yeah.
the kick-it stuff. She's been in parades. It's a big commitment.
Yeah.
You
And
playing
like
the ticket game?
I believe so.
Yes, you are.
Am I on Team Keckler?
You are on Team Kepler.
Because I did order a shirt. I thought, I said, yeah, I want one. I'd still wear it anyways, you know what I mean? But I knew I was on one, but
Yep,
I don't
you
pay
are on
attention to one.
Are you
Tell me
playing
what-
too, Maria?
I think so. I'm not sure.
She's
though.
on our Fremont Speedway team.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yes.
Yep.
And there's
How's
like real scoring runs, and we're playing for blood,
Well-
right?
Well, a couple of the teams are playing for blood. I'll tell you
Okay.
that.
There are.
All right.
There's some border jumper guys that
Yeah.
they tend to play for blood.
They're
They
pretty
bringing ringers
intimidating.
out. They bringing ringers out.
Is there ringer kickball players?
We were like
What's a ringer?
dodgeball champions in like 3rd and 4th grade. You know, we did play a lot of kickball.
Well, these border jumpers have won every single event that I personally have put on, except for the 3-on-3 basketball tournament. I just got the kick it trophy. It's about this big. It's almost as big as
So
the
we
new
gotta,
Queen's
we
crown.
gotta take them guys. All right, this is my first
Sabito-
time ever.
Sabito and Moto LG and them guys are all in that group. That's the.
No, actually, Sabito's on Team Sabito. He has his own deal.
Oh, okay.
The 2-time champions are like Jeezy,
Oh
Pancho
yeah.
Cortez.
Poncho, and RJ Willie. There's a little story behind that. He actually was on a losing team in the first year, and we did like a lot during the game. You'll see we throw in a lot of little like loophole things, and he lost.
So it's definitely
So
three
we had
mile
a
rules.
Yeah. Sometimes they run backwards around the
yeah,
bases.
Okay.
kick with your opposite foot. I got some new stuff this year that we're gonna do, but RJ actually is on this 2-time champ team by
We get like a
lieu
want,
of
want,
his-
want. You know, like something that you come across the radio, like, oh, want, want, want. Yeah, you're kicking backwards now.
we could probably do a wah. But RJ got on by, we had a spot bid, because it's all about raising money
Sure.
for the kids, you know. We bid out a spot to play on the championship team, so now RJ has been on this champion team. So there's all kinds of cool little things like
RJ
that.
wants to
It'll
win.
be interesting.
RJ's extremely competitive.
Yeah, he was entertaining at the 3-on-3 basketball.
He gets
tournament
mad
this year.
and yeah,
I'm
he's
slightly too short to play on the basketball thing. Like,
There was
And I
plenty of
just
people
wanted
that were
to-
too short to play.
There
talking about the golf outing coming up here, I've played golf maybe 3 times in
so
my
that's
whole life.
me, and I have to have a team.
Well, we might see what we can do. I did notice there's free steak on it there. You know what I'm saying? Come on, you say free steak, and granted it's not free, but guess what? You said free
Yeah.
steak. I'm coming.
But it's a lot of fun. It is.
Uh,
I have a team of girls playing.
most
none of us
likely,
play.
I could possibly hurt myself. I have topped the ball before and had it come straight up and smack me in the face.
I
It is
jumped
possible.
Anybody have a cell phone video on that?
No cell phone video on
I
that.
jumped
but
off a cliff a couple weeks ago, punched myself in the face, and ended up in urgent care jumping off a cliff.
So that's what kind of
Think
golf
that's
we're,
funny?
that's the scramble?
I did.
So it's golf and scramble?
Yeah, you're scrambling.
I
That's
come,
definitely
I come
scrambling.
up and I tasted blood, and I'm like, what the heck? And I'm like, oh, it's okay, we're good. We finished up after I jumped off the cliff. Not a good idea, by the
No.
way. When they tell you you hit water like it's concrete, definitely concrete,
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
Well,
How does the kick a deal work? Quick. How is the game setup going to work? How do you get to the championship?
It's a 16-team bracket.
16 teams.
Yeah.
Wow.
like a Sweet 16.
We are limiting them, and we're going to keep them on a strict 4 innings or 20 minutes. 20 minutes at the end of
Okay.
the 20 minutes. Otherwise, you guys are going to still be playing kickball when hot laps go out.
Right.
Because I'm starting at 10. The thing is it's gotten so big, almost too big. I had to cut it off at 16. I could have had 20. I probably could have had 22, and I didn't want to turn anybody away.
It's hard to do that.
It is, and it stinks because next year, and I've actually, and this is the first I've said this, I've thought about stepping away from it after this year and maybe letting someone else. It's a lot of work. I've been working on it since February.
Sure.
And then when you got the racetrack, and on Kick It Day, we've got Jim Ford Classic 2-day show,
Oh, yeah.
Queens Contest, 2 bands, an auction, a live
That's a
auction, a
healthy
silent
plate.
auction. That's a lot, and then I'm getting closer to it, and I'm going, oh my gosh, what have I done?
You're going to have to turn it
But-
into a 3-day deal. Before you
Or
know it,
something.
It's
There-
going to be
We
quite
could do a
program.
Sunday after.
I
Yeah.
hate to step away from it, but it's just got to the point
That way
where I
it could be a
don't,
really exciting kickball game.
Yeah.
I just don't know how much more like I can do by myself. And I am a total control freak. Your wife volunteers to help me all the time, and I struggle with giving direction to other people. I always think that I got to do it on myself, but it'll be fun. There's a lot of different things that go out. Last year, a farmer went around and fined people for holding hands, or yeah, he was like the campus police.
Oh, that's cool. It makes it interesting.
Fine
makes
him a
people
dollar.
laugh.
He,
Yeah.
he's like, oh, public display of affection. You owe me $1. So, and I think you just expect it from him because he's got that demeanor. But I couldn't do that. But so it'll be fun. There's got a lot of cool things. My
Rain or shine on the kickball game?
Rain or shine. He played in the rain.
Rain
one.
would be awesome. The
I'm
first
down.
time, the first year we played,
It was
it
the
rained
best.
a crazy day for, and there was a puddle bigger than this room right in front of first base.
Definitely.
Made it for
And
entertainment.
and it was really small. We had what, 2 teams?
There was 4
4
teams.
teams?
Yeah.
Solid mud, just mud everywhere. We had a real small auction. We made the least amount of money, but it was so much fun.
Sure.
But then, when you're shooting for 50, I would like to raise 50 grand this year. Jeff Gordon will match my 50, our 50. That gives us 100,000 plus the 12 grand that we did for the hair shavings.
Sure.
So
How'd yours come back? Mine's not coming back real good.
Dude, you got hair on the top of your head.
I
I have to wear a
mean
hat
to-
so it doesn't shine.
I didn't mean to make you do that, but I was proud of you for going out there and doing
I
good
was
sport.
cleaning out my
I know you're digging my toupee.
yes, I was cleaning out my photos the other day on my phone. I came across and I was like, ah!
When I see you walk by, I kind of did a double take, and I'm like, was that orange? When did he have orange hair? And I'm like,
This
okay.
grows out
And we
orange.
plop down in the seat, and you go, just a little off the top. And I'm like, when did he get orange hair?
When did you get hair?
And all of a sudden, and I'm like, that's it. Okay.
95% of the time I'm wearing a hat, so you
Sure.
wouldn't even know anyway.
Yeah, he sent me a picture early before, like the week before,
With the
and it was
wig
a
on?
close up, and he was smiling real big. I still kept it. And like I said, I was cleaning it up the other
That
day. I
may
was like,
come back to haunt you.
I know, once it's out there, it's out there.
Once it's on the internet,
That's still
Start
hanging,
out
or that's
with,
still, I got the head and everything. That's a 75-year-old toupee. Serious, it is. We got it from friends. He had a couple that had Velcro on them, but I didn't need that for the attachment.
Oh,
But it's
geez.
still sitting on the head on our china closet.
Wow.
I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but
Oh man.
maybe I'll just start wearing it to church on
banquet.
Sunday.
They'll show up
Sure.
with a banquet in it or
That's a
something.
great
I
idea.
know.
I might do that.
Spice up the banquet even now.
All right, let's get out of here. It's late. You
Get
guys
out
got a ride home.
Thank you very
Uh,
much.
yeah.
Both
Thanks
of
for
you
having me.
coming.
Thanks for coming in.
No problem.
Thanks for
Enjoyed it.
everything you do during the year.
Oh, no problem.
So thanks for watching the Last Lap Live. I assume we're going to be on next Tuesday at 7 o'clock like always. Check out the lastlaplive.com for all of our old shows. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter. And we'll see you at the races on September 6th. Thanks for watching.
Good evening and welcome to the Fremont Speedway. I'm your 2014 Fremont Speedway Queen, Maria Gerber. I would like to tell you about our upcoming 2015 Fremont Speedway Queens Contest. We are adding a little twist to the contest this year. In addition to our regular Fremont Speedway Queen, we will have a Little Miss Fremont Speedway. The Little Miss contest will be open to girls ages 7 through 10. Our regular Fremont Speedway Queens contest is open to women ages 18 through 25. If either of these contests are of interest to you, go to the Fremont Speedway website and look at all the details along with the application. This year I have enjoyed being the 2014 Fremont Speedway Queen. I've gotten to know not only the drivers, but all their crew and everyone here at the Fremont Speedway. I am glad to say that I've become part of the Fremont Speedway family. I highly recommend this to anyone that is interested. Whether you've been around racing your entire life or just a few short months, this will be an experience you will never forget. Don't forget, the applications are due by September 1st, and only the first 20 applications will be accepted. Thank you for spending your Saturday night here at the Fremont Speedway, the track that action built.
Come back. Hey, we are back for an encore. The crowd was going wild. They wanted us to come back out because we forgot one thing.
We forgot.
I can't believe that I even forgot this. We got to do the Having a Ball with Art segment with Brian here. You said you've seen the show, so you have to put this on your head.
Okay.
You have to draw the red 45 race car, and then put your number on it while it's above your head, and then autograph it for us so that we can put it on a wall out there.
All above my head.
Not
Yep.
the autograph. You can look.
You can autograph it down here, but you have to draw your car on your head first. This is like the best part of the whole show.
This is where the hilariousness comes out at. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm supposed to draw.
A race car on your head. Yep, on the flip it over there on the other side. Yeah,
Okay.
draw it on that side there.
On this side, the flat side here.
Yep, draw
In front of the camera, in front of all you guys.
Yep.
Yes.
You gonna coach me through it? Do I get any up, down,
No,
left,
you
or
just,
right?
normally we got stuff to talk about while you're doing that, but
Is this
no,
a kind of a
that's-
doodle?
No, it's on top of your head.
Oh, it's on top.
Yeah, there you go. It's definitely got to be on top of
Good
your
luck.
head. We had,
If it looks real bad, you can just say it's Schaefer did it, right? 'Cause
you had a concussion. You just
I
said you had a
did.
concussion.
You know what I mean? Like I'm just trying to.
All
I
the
always
greats have done
confess
it.
to-
Mark
I
Keegan.
confuse their cars.
You know what I mean? So I guess if it looks like a sprint car, or I'm just
It
putting
must be a
marker.
sprint car.
Doesn't Johnny Herrera run a 45
Um,
too?
Don't,
Yeah.
but don't
You're
you
doing
think the
pretty good.
245s look alike?
Are you serious?
Oh yeah,
Right,
that's
yeah.
real similar.
Now I gotta try to think of which way it goes.
Yeah. You know, Jim Linder, Mark Keegan, Dale Blaney, Kenny Jacobs, they've all done this.
Yep.
I don't know if that was right or not.
I don't know. If you're done, you're done. Did you put the 45 on?
The 45's on there.
All right, bring it down. Let's see.
Let's see what we got. Wow!
Well,
Ladies and
let's
gentlemen,
put this up here. You got this camera over here? There you
here we go.
We came back for that.
Yeah.
Back on the show for that. What?
that's
I don't know. We got Maria sitting there. What do you think
Oh,
we could have
no.
her draw on top of her head? The crown?
I'm gonna draw a crown.
You're gonna have to draw a crown.
Oh
I
gosh.
Definitely.
guess you might as well.
I can't just go down
Kind of difficult.
with the crown on.
I would
With
put it
the
on
cr-
top of the crown.
I don't.
With
On
the crown.
The crown.
If
Or
I
hold it
break
back here.
if I were to break the top of it,
Yeah, you
She'll
don't wanna
order
do
another
that.
one
I
this
have-
fall.
Maybe do it on her forehead.
I have a
I
backup
mean, you can't
one
see
just in
what
case.
you're. I mean, that's kind of.
You have to give her the marker.
I got the marker. We're good to go.
Draw a nice crown with your face in it. Don't forget your glasses.
What next year's crown will look like?
Oh,
There you
you
go.
don't even want to see next year's crown. That's been a sore subject.
Watch out for black Sharpie on blonde hair.
Yeah, we've had a couple instances where people got over the fence or
Yeah.
one in their hat or a little on their head. But
okay.
That was
Oh no.
now she's stuck in
Uh-oh.
Oh, I tried.
That's-
That's kind of like a pepperoni pizza.
I feel like I want to sing Old Christmas Tree.
good.
Sure.
Doesn't it?
They could.
Well, go ahead and show the crowd.
There you go. There's the next. If you're trying out for the Little Miss Queen for Fremont Speedway, that's what your crown's going to look like. Go ahead and autograph that for us, and we'll put that out there. I think you had a good idea. I think we might do that. We might take those and get them all in frames, and then sell them maybe at the Kick
You
It
think?
auction. And yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I was afraid to ask you. My response when he called and said, or texted and said, "Hey, you guys should do this." I said, "Brian, that was Brian's baby. He is not gonna part
Yeah,
with
no,
us."
I think that's a good idea.
I mean, that's kind of like a sprint car almost. I mean, we got a down tube. We got two wheels
He's
It's
defending
as good as some
himself.
other ones out there.
and It's a 40 lopsided.
All
At
right,
least they're correct.
If we had
I
music,
was
they'd be
happy.
playing it for us. Our acceptance speech is over. Thanks for coming back, and we'll see you next Tuesday night.